Peace. Peace and blessings. Happy Wednesday. Happy Mercury. Miércoles. Mercury Day. Let's see what comes in line to hear this message that is very, very, very important, and I feel inspired to share this reading with my brothers and sisters, my equals. If no one turns up, I will just read and give the interpretation according to my higher self. We have one. Kenan. All I need is one. Peace, brother. Peace and blessings. Very, very unusual topic, but I will be sharing this divine message from an esoteric curriculum, metaphysics, pure non-dualism, channeled by the voice for God, the superconscious thoughts within us. And I'll give it a say. Peace and blessings, bro. Thank you. Thank you for joining. I'll try and speed read through it and give interpretation because I don't want it to go past 10 minutes. And 10 minutes is all I believe we need before minds start actually being distracted, because we have a very short attention span these days. How are you feeling, brother? All right. The Antichrist. Oh. I'm going to have fun while I'm reading this. This subject has been a very, very interesting topic in my experience since I came into this world, brought up as a Christian, read the Bible over and over and over again, especially the Revelations, where it talks about the Antichrist and then the beast, the mark of the beast, 666. That shit was so fucking scary reading it. It feels like, you know, when we experience that eventually, like that's it, it's the end. That's the end of the world. I'm going to give us the real interpretation of what it means, the Antichrist. Okay, here we go, reading. This is taken from A Course in Miracles. If you are interested in going deeper into this pure non-dualism, A Course in Miracles, you can obtain this curriculum yourself. I've been studying and practicing and teaching from this curriculum for over 25 years, meditating on it, using it for myself, practicing the meditation, using the theory, and reading it and using it and seeing that it means a lot to me because it works. Okay, here we go. The Antichrist. What is an idol? That's how it starts. See, he doesn't say what is an Antichrist. He says, what is an idol? Do you think you know? For idols are recognized as such. I repeat, what is an idol? Do you think you know? For idols are unrecognized, I beg your pardon, as such, and never seen for what they really are. You do not recognize idol because you do not basically know what they are for. That's what that statement says. That is the only power idols have. What power do they have? That they are unrecognized. Their purpose is obscure, and they are feared and worshipped. Both, because we do not know what they are for. We worship idols and we fear idols because we do not know what idols are for and why idols have been made. Who made them? You and I. An idol is an image. This is the kicker. An idol is an image of your brother. An idol is an image of your brother that you would value more than what he or she is. Brother is a symbol used in this curriculum for any living thing. In fact, your brother is Christ, just as you are. An idol is an image of any living thing that you would value more than what he, she, or it is. In that case, you can idolize anything. It could be a pet, it could be a buddy, it could be anything. It could be your brother, it could be your sister, it could be your dad, it could be a president, it could be a leader, it could be a sister, it could be your boss, okay? Idols are made that your brother might be replaced no matter what their form is. And it is this that never is perceived and recognized. I repeat, idols are made that your brother may be replaced no matter what their form is. And it is this that is never perceived and recognized, be it a body, like I said, or a thing, a place, a situation, or a circumstance. An object owned or wanted, or a right demanded or achieved. It is the same. Let not their form deceive you. Do not let any form of any idols that you have made in your life deceive you. They are all the same. It could be a body. It could be part of a body. It could be a booty. It could be a situation. It could be a thing. It could be a circumstance. Do not let their forms deceive you. Idols are only substitute for your reality. When we make idols, we are substituting them for our reality. What is your reality? Christ. In some way, we believe that they will complete our little self. For safety in a world perceived as dangerous, with forces massed against your confidence and peace of mind. Very poetic this curriculum is. You have to take your time and read it slowly. It's called the iambic pentameter. That's how it was written. Very Shakespearean. Okay. Let not the forms of idols that you have made deceive you. Idols are but substitute for your reality. In some way, you believe they will complete your little self. So whenever we make idols, we have already believed that there is something lacking within you. So you look at your brother or a situation or anything and you give it value more than what they really are, in order for you to feel the lack that you have already believed that is within you. That's what idols are. American idols, right? No one believes in idols who has not enslaved himself or self to littleness and loss. Whenever you choose to believe in idols and you give your power away, you have believed in your littleness and that you have lost something within yourself. And thus, we must seek beyond this little self to strengthen your head. I repeat, and thus must you seek beyond your little self for strength to raise your head and stand apart from all the misery the world reflects. Stay with me. This is the penalty for not looking within. Whenever you raise an idol, that means you have stopped or you haven't looked within yourself to find your real self, to find your Christ self. So the penalty is you start to look without. That is what the prodigal son story is. That is what the Neo story is. That is what Alice in Wonderland story is. Are you with me? Kenan? Are you with me? Give me some hearts. Let me know you're with me, because I can still see one person with me. The Antichrist. This is the penalty for not looking within. If you do not look within, you will idolize. It is really that simple. This is the penalty for not looking within for certainty. You can only find certainty when you look within, because heaven is within. And quiet calm that liberates us from the world and lets you stand apart in quiet and in peace. This is what meditation is. Meditation is a daily practice that you go within all the time, whatever spiritual practice, whatever form of meditation you have. The purpose is for you to go within for calmness and for peace and for certainty. You will not find that outside of yourself. You will not find certainty, peace of mind, and calmness in anything that you perceive with your eyes. It is impossible. That is why we keep searching and never find it. Because once you find one idol and you think that will satisfy you, another one will come. Of course, brother, I'm liking this, listening and learning. I appreciate you for staying. Thank you. This shit that I'm explaining to you, I've studied it for over 25 years. And every time I go through it, the amazing thing about this text is it just keeps on unraveling my mind and unraveling itself. And I keep bringing it back to myself, which is the whole purpose. Because you have to always bring it back to yourself in order for it to work. Because you are the dreamer of the dream. Right? We are the dreamer of this American dream. Wherever you are in the world, wherever you're listening to this video, you are the dreamer of the dream. You are the hero of your dream. So you have to bring whatever spiritual practice that you are using for your daily life to yourself. Once you correct the error within yourself, that's it. Game over. I carry on. An idol is a false impression, a false belief, some form of antichrist. An idol is a false impression, a false belief, some form of antichrist that constitute a gap between the Christ and what I see. I repeat, an idol is a false impression, a false belief, some form of antichrist. There are many forms of antichrist as we've been given earlier on, right? To idolize anything is a form of antichrist. And the antichrist is a gap that the mind makes so that you can veil Christ, which is you, me, and every living thing in the world. That's what Christ is. It is a creation of the divine, of source, of God, whatever you want to symbolize God with. That is what Christ is, all creations. So it says an idol is a false impression, a false belief, some form of antichrist that constitutes a gap between the Christ and what we see. An idol is a wish made tangible and given form, and thus perceived as real and seen outside the mind. Yet it is still a thought and cannot leave the mind that is its source. All right? Captain Baron. I'm sure people are going to come on, they're going to see the topic and fly away. That's all right. Whatever your beliefs are, it's okay. This is pure non-dualism. I am reading from a pure non-dual curriculum, a spiritual text, esoteric text. You need not believe it. You need not even understand it. If you watch this video, when I'm done with it and repeat it and apply it to your life, you will see that it makes sense. You need not even analyze it. You need not accept it. All you need to do is basically listen to it with an open mind and apply it to your own perspective in life. And if it makes sense to you, use it. And if it doesn't, let it go. Something else is going to come to you. I can promise you that. This is not for everyone. I repeat, an idol is a wish. Whenever you idolize, you are wishing. I wish this were different so that I can be happy. I wish my sister did something different to me so I can be happy. I wish my boyfriend could be a whole lot richer so that I can be happy. I wish my girlfriend had bigger tits and big ass so that I can feel more, important in the world. I wish. An idol is a wish made tangible and given form and thus perceived as real and seen outside the mind. Oh, I wish I was richer. Yet it's still a thought. It is still a thought in the mind and cannot leave the mind that is its source. Nor is its form apart from the idea it represents. No matter what form it is, it still represents the idea. All forms of Antichrist oppose Christ. All forms of idols oppose Christ, which is what you and I are. Whenever you idolize, you are opposing your real self. And this Christ is what you really are. And fall before his face like a dark veil that seems to shut you off from him. I repeat, all forms of Antichrist oppose the Christ and fall before your face like a dark veil that seems to shut you off from him. The idol that we form comes before your eyes and blocks your vision. Like imagine, the ceremony that we perform in the world, the marriage ceremony, right? Where the bride basically and the groom basically lifts the veil, right? So that I can see the bride. That is basically a symbol of what we really are. We are the Christ. But whenever we form idols in our mind and replace and try to substitute whatever we are with idols that we are seeing, we drop the veil and then we cannot really see. So the Holy Spirit, our higher self, is what helps us to lift the veil. And that is exactly what I'm doing now, reading this curriculum, this high perspective curriculum that helps you to unblock, the obstacles that we have between the Christ, which is what you really are, and what we see. Okay? Stay with me. It will make more sense. The world of idol is a veil across the face of Christ. I repeat, the world of idols is a veil across the face of Christ. Let me back up. All forms of Antichrist oppose the Christ and fall before your face like a dark veil that seems to shut you off from your real self, from Christ, alone in darkness. Yet the light is there. The light is always there. A cloud does not put out the sun. No more a veil can banish what it seems to separate, nor darken by one whit the light itself. What does that mean? The cloud, even though the cloud might come up in your experience sometimes, it can never ever put out the light that is the real self, the real Christ self, right? That means idols basically cannot really do anything to your real self, who you really are. The world of idols is a veil across the face of Christ because its purpose, what is the purpose of idols? Is to separate your brother from yourself. The purpose of an idol is to separate your brother. Who is your brother? I am your brother. Who is your brother? Every single one that you are perceiving in consciousness, in the matrix, is your brother. That's what brother means. You're equal. The world of idol is a veil across the face of Christ because its purpose is to separate your brother from yourself. The purpose of idols, whenever we make idol, is to separate us from our brothers. Remember, it is a belief. It is an idea in the mind, right? An idea made tangible by belief. A dark and fearful purpose, yet a thought without the power to change one blade of grass from something living to a sign of death. Its form is nowhere, for its source abides within your mind where God, love, abideth not. The source of idols abides in our mind where God isn't. It is a false idea. Okay? Its form is nowhere, for its source abides within your mind, where God abideth not. Where is this place where what is everywhere has been excluded and been kept apart? What hand could be held up to block God's way? Whose voice could make demand God not enter? Love. God is love. Okay? If God basically triggers you, you can replace it or substitute that word with love. Where is this place where what is everywhere has been excluded and been kept apart? What hand could be held up to block God's way? Whose voice could make demand that God could not enter? The more than everything, in quotes, is another description for what idol is. More than everything is not a thing to make you tremble and to quail in fear. Christ's enemy is nowhere. He can take no form in which he will ever be real. See, many stories are going on right now about this current energy and this confusion and all the calls for love that we're having right now in the American dream. There's so much fear. There's so much unrest. There's so much upheaval, that people, brothers, are going through at the moment. Fear of being arrested, fear, of being incarcerated, fear of loss of your career and jobs, and all of fear that is coming up in our experience right now. That is why I felt the need to actually share this inspiration, because when you begin to see where this fear is coming from, you can dispel it in your mind if you really know what the Antichrist really is. Okay? It will help to basically go beyond the fear that is already being projected in the mind. Right? 2-3 more paragraphs and I'll stop. I've already gone beyond this. This is some heavy shit. It's either I make you run away or you stay for the rest of the day if you have time. I might continue this another time, but we will see. What is an idol? Nothing, it says. It must be believed before it seems to come to life. An idol is nothing, but we give it power by believing in it. There is no one on the planet right now that has any power beyond what you give it. It does not matter what that brother is presenting. It doesn't really matter. The belief in it is what is giving it power. No one can do shit to you. Nothing. No alien, no president, no dictator, no one, no animal, nothing can make you tremble in fear, not unless you give it that power to. That's what basically we just heard. What is an idol? Nothing. It must be believed before it seems to come to life and given power that it may be feared. You give it power and then you fear it. Its life and power are its believer's gift. When you fear something and you give it power, basically you are not in your right mind and you are giving power away. The power that is within you, you're giving it to something, the idol that you have. And remember, it doesn't have to be someone. It could be money. It can be a body. It can be a thing. Okay? What is an idol? Nothing. It must be believed before it seems to come to life and given power that it may be feared. Its life and power are its believer's gift, and this is what the miracle restores. This is a course in miracle. It is a course in mind training. It helps to correct your perception and the errors in your own mind. Okay? That's why it mentions a miracle. Its life and power are its believer's gift, and this is what the miracle restores to what has life and power worthy of the gift of heaven and eternal peace. What does heaven is? What does heaven mean? Heaven is completion, where nothing is missing, right? Eternal peace is what leads to heaven. Peace is a condition of a heavenly state of mind. Heaven is not a place. It is a state of mind where nothing is lacking or missing. And the condition that produces heaven is peace. So we are going through this curriculum in order to restore peace to our mind by not making an idol of anything that we see, so that we can have heaven restored back to our mind by our higher self in this form, by the Holy Spirit, by our inner guide. Okay? The miracle does not restore the truth. It goes on to explain what a miracle is. A miracle does not restore the truth. The light, the veil between us, not put out. So Christ is the light that we are. The veil of the idols that we have put in between our sight and us, the light behind it is still there. But the miracle is what lifts the veil. Okay? That's what that statement means. An idol is established by belief. Sorry, I back up. I've jumped. What is an idol? Nothing. It must be believed before it seems to come to life and given power that it may be feared. Its life and power are its believers' gift, and this is what the miracle restores to what is life and power worthy of the gift of heaven and eternal peace. The miracle does not restore the truth. The light, the veil between us not put out. It merely lifts the veil. The miracle lifts the veil. Correct perception, true forgiveness is another way of saying the miracle. It lifts the veil of ignorance and lets the truth, which is what Christ is, which is what you are, shine unencumbered, being what it is. The miracle does not need belief to be itself. Okay? You do not need to believe that you are a creation of God for you to be yourself. For you have been created, and so you are. Whether somebody believes it, whether you choose to believe that you are a holy creation of God, which is what Christ is, it does not matter. That's what you are. That's what you are going to remain, even if you choose not to believe it. An idol is established by belief, and when it is withdrawn, the idol dies, in quotes. Whenever you've idolized something and you keep on believing it and infusing it with your beliefs every day, like, oh, my car makes me better than my brother. Whenever you realize that you are not thinking the right way, just withdraw your belief from it by going into your spiritual practice, by going into your meditation, so that that mindset can be corrected, because you truly cannot have more than your brother. It's impossible. An idol is established by belief, and when it is withdrawn, when you withdraw that belief, the idol dies. This is the Antichrist. What is the Antichrist? The strange idea that there is a power past omnipotence. This is the Antichrist. The strange idea that there is a power past omnipotence. A place beyond the infinite. A time transcending the eternal. Here, the world of idols has been set by the idea this power and place and time are given form and shape the world where the impossible has happened. That's what Yeshua, aka Jesus, the Christ, says this world of idol is. It is a world of the impossible. We believe in our mind that the impossible can happen, that the idols that we have made and chosen to believe in, that the impossible can be possible. It is a belief, and we have to let it go, and we draw our belief from it. Okay? Here, the world of idols has been set by the idea that this power and place and time are given form and shape the world where the impossible has happened. Here, the deathless come to die. The matrix, right? We as Christ, we come to have and experience the prodigal son, the Neo in the Matrix, the Alice in Wonderland, right? We have come here to die. The all-encompassing, to suffer loss, right? The change, the changeless, the timeless, to be made the slaves of time. Here does the changeless change, the peace of God forever given to all living things, that is what Christ is, I remind you, give way to chaos. And the Son of God, who is Christ, as perfect, sinless, and as loving as his Father, his Creator, his God, his Source, our Father, come to hate a little while, to suffer pain, and to finally die. That's what you just described. You just basically gave us the belief of the world that we think we are in, right? We've come here to have an experience of being in a body, right? We believe that the body can give us what we want, right? Then we also believe that the timeless, which is what we really are, eternal beings, we are immortal, can come here to suffer from time, right? And we go about doing crazy things and rushing everywhere so that we can, get things done before time is over. And then we have a short span of time, 80 years, some 20, some 30 years, and then you die. And then you come back and repeat the same old shit over again. It's called incarnation, right? Where is an idol? Nowhere. This is the correction part. Can there be a gap in what is infinite? A place where time can interrupt eternity? A place of darkness, set where all is light? A dismal alcove separated off from what is endless, has no place to be? An idol is beyond where God has set all things forever and has left no room for anything to be except God's will. Who is God's will? Christ, the real you, the real me. We are the will of God. But whenever we forget, whenever we've swallowed the blue pill, whenever we think we are not what we are, whenever we forget what we really are, that we are Christ, we idolize, and then we think we are something else. We think we are the body. We think we are the car, right? We think we are part of the body because we are forgotten. We have taken the blue pill and we have come into a dream world where we believe that we can die. So this is a form of the red pill that I'm sharing with you. So whenever you discover that you've idolized or you've given power away in your dream of separation that you're having, you swallow the red pill, you go into this video and you look at what you have made in your experience so that you can have it corrected by your higher self, your inner guide, okay? By going through this curriculum or any other curriculum that can correct that perception, that misperception, so that you can lift the veil and you can have peace and you can have calmness and you can have consistent happiness and joy. The only thing that is between your eternal peace and joy are the belief systems that you are choosing to listen to. It is what the ego is. We all have the ego, but we are not the ego. Whenever you choose to listen to the ego, you temporarily believe in time that you are the ego by all the foolish things that we do in the world, by the anger and the guilt and the attack, or looking at your brother or your sister and giving them more value than they actually really are. American idols, right? This is the correction. This is why I am inspired to share it with us and to accept it for myself first. All right? Where is an idol? Nowhere. Can there be a gap in what is infinite? A place where time can interrupt eternity? A place of darkness set where all is light? A dismal alcove separated off from what is endless? Has no place to be? An idol is beyond where love, where God, where source has set all things forever and has left no room for anything to be except God's will, love's will. Nothing and nowhere must an idol be, while God, love, and you, God's creation, is everything and everywhere. Next paragraph. What purpose has an idol then? What is an idol for? That's what you should ask. What is it for? This is the only question that has many answers. each depending on the one to whom the question has been asked. The world believes in idols. The world that you are seeing and perceiving believes in idols. No one comes to this world unless he worships them and still attempts to seek for one that yet might offer him or her a gift reality does not contain. What does that mean? Each worshipper of idols harbors hope his special deities will give him or her more than other men possess. That's what the idol's purpose is for. You worship an idol, you make it up, you put your belief in it, like in the case of the American dream where, people that we elect are idolized. You make that idol so that you can have more than what your brothers have. That is the purpose, right? I want more. I want more power. I want more fame, more fortune. I want more money, right? The world believes in idols. No one comes unless he worships them. No one comes unless she worships them and still attempts to seek for one that yet might offer him a gift reality does not contain. What is reality? Christ. That is your reality. That reality is equal. Okay? But then whenever you seek for idols, you are seeking for something that is more than what you really are. It does not really matter more of what. Hear this. This is the very important sentence. It does not really matter more of what. It can be more of beauty. It can be more intelligence. It can be more wealth. Or even more affliction and more pain. Oh, you don't even understand how much I've suffered, man. My suffering is so much more than any other person in the whole world. Like, oh, look at me. Oh, woe is me. Idols. Oh, I want more wealth. Oh, I have $1 billion now. I'm a billionaire. I'm going to be as rich as Elon, or I'm going to be richer than the sheikh of the Saudi Arabia. Oh, I want more wealth. Oh, I want to go have a plastic surgery that's going to make me so much more desirable and fine and lovely and put more stuff and plastic in the body so I can be more beautiful and handsome. He said it does not really matter more of what? More beauty, more intelligence, more wealth, or even more affliction and more pain. But more of something is an idol for. I repeat, more of something is an idol for. I repeat, more of something is an idol for. Whenever you discover that you are wanting more of something, especially in this competitive world that we live in. Oh, I want more money than this guy because he's showing off his vehicle, he's showing off his transportation device, and I have to, get more because I want to feel so good within myself. More beauty, more pain, more affliction. It does not matter the form. Okay? That's what it's trying to instill in our mind. Whenever you discover that you are wanting more of anything, you are idolizing. That is the Antichrist. But more of something is an idol for. And when one fails, as it surely will, another one will rise up to take its place with hope of finding more of something else. That's the story of Alice in Wonderland. You keep searching and you will never find. You look and you look and you look. Whenever you discover one idol, just like many are basically disillusioned with relationships at the moment because we keep on idolizing each other. We believe that being with a body is a relationship. Whether you are in a male body or in a female body, it does not matter. We go on dating sites looking for bodies so that we think that that is what's going to give us happiness. But once one of it falls and you become disillusioned, you go to the grass on the other side and you hope it's greener, right? And that fails again. And then you look for another one. And then that will fail again. And if that doesn't actually satisfy you, you can go into paraphernalia or drugs or substances in order for you to suppress those emotions so you can keep on searching and searching and searching and searching, because we have idolized. That is the Antichrist. Be not deceived by forms, the something takes. Don't be deceived by the form your idol takes. Do not be deceived. An idol is a means for getting more. All right? That's the purpose. An idol is the means for getting more. And it is this that is against God's will. Excuse me. Whenever you're choosing to get more, you are going against God's will. And this is nothing to be feared. God's will is perfect happiness, and God's will is perfect peace for you. But whenever you are listening to the ego, right, you are going against your own will. Your own will is God's will. And God's will is that you be satisfied by going within and looking for your true happiness where your happiness really is. So whenever you are idolizing something in the world, you are going against your own will. That means you are basically batting your head against yourself. You are splitting your mind. This is what mental illness actually is, or being sick, right? You are searching for something you can never find, so you are going against your own will, God's will, all right? For anybody joining, you can watch this video over again. I've gone over probably maybe 25 minutes. This is the Antichrist. This is when you use idols in the world to disturb your own peace of mind. This is when we idolize physical things in the hope that they will satisfy something within us. This is what the Antichrist really means. This is what the beast, the 666 that most people are actually coming to learn, this is what it really means. You replace your real self, your Christ self, with things in the world, and it doesn't matter what form it takes. It could be more stuff. It could be more beauty. It could be more riches. It could be wealth. It can be even pain, as we've heard. It does not matter what form it takes. The form it takes basically just deceives us into wanting more, because whenever you raise an idol, it will fall, so that you will go and look for another idol, and that will fall too, because you haven't recognized yet that they are all the same. All right? And as we've heard in the beginning, that an idol, what is the definition? Idols are unrecognized. The purpose is obscure, because what is the purpose? That you can have more than what your brother has. I beg your pardon. An idol is an image of your brother that you would value more than what he or she is. I repeat, an idol, the Antichrist, right, is an image of your brother. Your brother is your equal. Your brother is any living creation. Your brother is any living thing that you perceive, that you would value more than what he or she is. That's what an idol is. Let me wrap this up. This is the last paragraph. All right. It says, God, love, the creator, source, whatever you want to call it, has not many sons. I'll say it in another way. Source, the creator, God, has not many sons, does not have many sons. God, creator, love, source, has not many sons, but only one. Who can have more, and who can be given less? In heaven, which is a completion, a state of mind of completion where nothing is missing. Heaven is not a place according to this curriculum. This is a course in miracles, is a course in mind training, is a course in correct perception. It gives us a different perspective of how we are operating in the world, so that you can have all your errors within your own self corrected, so that you can have more peace. In heaven will the Son of God but laugh if idols could intrude upon his peace. In a state of completion where nothing is missing, you will laugh at the idols that you have made if you believe that whatever you've idolized can actually satisfy you. Whenever your mind is corrected back into what the reality really is, Yeshua, the Holy Spirit, says we will laugh at this shit. We will laugh at our need to feel important in the world whenever you are complete in your mind. That's what that statement is. And it begins by saying God saw us as not many sons. Son is an extension of source. A son, just as I am, which is why I'm using the Son of God, which is what every single creation really is. Hello everyone, I can see people are actually coming in. I'm about to finish this paragraph. I've been teaching and studying this, as I said in the beginning, for over 25 years. And in this session for almost 25-30 minutes, you can watch this video from the beginning again and listen to it again and apply it to yourself. Okay, that is the purpose. Application, application, application. Hi, sweet friend. Thank you for teaching. I appreciate you, Kathy. Thank you. Grand Rising. Good morning. Blessed Rising. I am teaching on what an idol is. The Antichrist. All right. The Antichrist is whenever our mind is choosing to believe in something that is outside of ourselves, and we give it power in order to give us happiness or to bring misery. So whenever we are feeling that way, whenever we're feeling fearful, especially in these times of chaos and confusion, whenever you go within yourself to find that peace, you literally withdraw the power that you've given any energy that you have perceived in the world of perception. Like he said, like Yeshua in this Course in Miracles says, it doesn't matter what form that idol takes. It can be more beauty. It could be pain. It could be any physical thing. It can be your need to be important. It can be more likes, even in social media. It can be even more pain, right? The idol, the belief in it, is to make you separate yourself from who you truly are, like a veil, right? So whenever you start listening to your higher self, the veil lifts up between whatever you see and your real self. Your real self is the Christ self. That is what we truly are. I'm glad I tuned into this. Thanks for this message. Thank you, Kenan, for sticking behind. Like the first time I heard this, all it took me was 5-10 minutes and I switched off. So I applaud you for sticking behind, because this is a very, very, very powerful, powerful message that we all need right now in this time to help us to remember who we truly are. That is my purpose. That is actually why I am sharing this. When I accepted the correction for myself and I saw that it worked, I was so blown away that I'm like, I have to share this with every single one of my brothers and sisters so that we can lift up together, so that we can let go of all the blocks, so that we can let go of the trauma and the pain and everything that we have chosen to experience in the world of the physical, right? So that we can have more peace. You cannot remember who you are without having peace of mind, and that is the goal of this curriculum. Once you lift the veil, peace will arrive, and then you will remember what you are, so that you can stop looking and looking and looking and never find it, like Alice in Wonderland. Let me finish with this last paragraph, okay? It says God has not many sons but one, right? And we can have more I cannot have more than you, and you cannot have more than me, because Source created us equal. God, Source, Love, the divine, created us as one. So every single one of us is equal. We all have everything because we all belong to Source. We all belong to God. We all belong to love. Okay? It says, in heaven, which is where we really are, will the Son of God but laugh if idols could intrude upon our peace? It is for us, the Holy Spirit, who is sharing this curriculum with us now through me, the inner guide, right? It is for us, the Holy Spirit, the manifestation, what we call Yeshua, the Christ, Jesus the Christ, speaks and tells us idols have no purpose in heaven, in the state of completion. Idols have zero purpose. They can't do shit. For more than heaven can we never have. We can never have more than heaven. Right? If heaven is within, if heaven is within, why would you seek for idols? If every time you find yourself not being at peace, you take a breath, you go within in order to discover who you really are, then your idols really have no purpose. And heaven is within, is not without. Heaven is the only thing that can satisfy you. Okay? If heaven is within, then how can idols ever satisfy you? Right? If heaven is within, why would you seek for idols that would make of heaven less to give you more than God bestowed upon your brother, me, and anyone you perceive, and on you as one with him? Right? It's like a question. It says, if heaven is within, why would you seek for idols that will make of heaven less to give you more than God bestowed upon your brother, your equal, and on you as one with him? God gave you all there is. I repeat, Source, Love, the prime creator, gave you all there is. And hear this, to be sure you could not lose what God gave you. Hear this very well. This is one of my favorite aspects of this section. God gave me. So if you want to use this as a practice, whenever you're feeling not worthy of yourself, whenever you're feeling self-doubt, whenever you're feeling like you've lost something in the world, you can easily say this to yourself and it will correct your mind immediately because it is miraculous. You can say this to yourself and says, God gave me all there is. God gave me all there is. The me is not the body. The me is the Christ self. God gave me all there is, and to be sure I could not lose all there is, God, Source, Love, the Creator, also gave the same to every living thing as well. All right? Isn't that an amazing idea to rejoice? Like whenever you feel like you're lacking something, you remind yourself, God gave me all there is, and to be sure that I do not lose it, He also gave my brother and every living thing all there is too. Boom. Correction. Self-doubt disappears. The power you've given your idol disappears. All the fear that comes into your mind, racing, listening to your ego all day, like, oh shit, if I don't do this, then I'm gonna like suffer. If I don't do this, then I'm gonna be in pain. Oh, if I get deported, oh, my whole life is gonna be, in a mess. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, if I don't have this work, then I'm gonna be miserable. If I don't, you just sit down, pause, take a breath, and say an example of this prayer, this affirmation. God, Source, Love, Divine, the Prime Creator, whatever you actually call it that you feel comfortable with, you say this to yourself. God gave me all there is. This is the description of what heaven is. Perfect peace and completion. God, source, love. You don't even have to believe in this shit to say it. Whenever you are not feeling right in your mind, whenever you're feeling depressed about something in the past, or you're feeling anxious about something in the future that has yet to occur, you sit down and take a breath and tell yourself, God, source, gave me all there is, and to be sure I cannot lose it, God also gave my brother and every living thing the same. And that powerful affirmation would dispel the ego immediately as soon as you say it. I promise you. I've used this idea gazillion times, and there is no time it hasn't worked. If you need and desire a one-to-one coaching session in this amazing curriculum, DM me, get in touch with me. I'll be so happy to take you through this curriculum or any other pure non-dualism and use all the symbols in order to correct your perceptions, in order to lift the veil of the idols that you have basically given power to in your experience, so that you can have more peace. That is the goal. And once you have more peace, you will remember that there is nothing lacking within you. Why? Because, as this curriculum just told us, God has not many sons, but only one. You and I are part of that sonship. We are equals, right? It says, who can have more and who can be given less? In heaven, will the Son of God but laugh? We will laugh at this bullshit whenever we come back to our senses. If idols can intrude upon our peace. And then it says, if heaven is within, then why would you seek for idols that will make of heaven less, so that you can have more than your brother? If heaven is within, God gave you all there is. And to be sure you could not lose it, that I could not lose it, God also gave the same to every living thing as well. This is the last sentence. And thus is every living thing a part of you. Every single living thing that you perceive in consciousness is a part of you. I am a part of you. You are a part of me. The birds, the sky, every single thing is a part of us. The realization of that is what heaven is. So therefore, if you realize that every single aspect of consciousness is a part of you, then why would you attack anybody? Why would you think you can compete against yourself? Does God, the creator of all things, compete? So I have 2 minutes, perfect timing. Instagram just warned me. 1 minute remaining, perfect timing, because I'm about to end this session. And thus is every living thing a part of me as of himself. Every living thing is part of God's self. No idol can establish you as more than God, as more than everything. But you will never be content with being less. That's how this section ends. This is what the Antichrist is. Read, I beg your pardon, listen to this video. If you are interested in learning more in this curriculum, I study and teach metaphysics, esoteric practices. I practice astrology, numerology. These are all tools and modalities to help to unblock the truth that is already within us, so that you can reveal your true self to yourself, so that you can have more peace, so that your abundance can continue to flow to you and through you to other beings, to other living beings, so that you can be happy. Happiness is within, is not without. You can never find it in any idols that you are having at the moment in your life, whatever it might be, your career, or whatever situation you're in. See it correctly and let your higher self, your inner guide, correct that mistake by bringing your mistake to your higher self, so that the veil of ignorance can be lifted, so that you can remember that you have everything. All right? Peace and blessings. It's been a pleasure to share this amazing curriculum, pure non-dualism teachings with you. I'll see you next time, and be at peace. I love you.